on 44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and they head with that shit.
Fine in, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I did it, nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. They mad, I'm too solid, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. No, they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for real. I got real soldiers, kill for me, nigga, watch yourself. They said you been in beast mode lately, you is not self. When you dropping that fire, precious marriage, they inquiring. They can't stop what's coming, but I see them conspiring. Cross the line, them firing. This bitch here, finna break the spin. No kindness, I don't trust you, circle small. You can keep your features. Me and my niggas don't keep no secrets. In the feel like Jeepers Creepers, say they want some smoke, dog. So I brought these chimney sweeps. Coming like we coming, you can't even cap. These niggas don't run it like we run it, bitch, don't even start. Bitch, I'm with my niggas till the end, till them do us part. If you wanna leave, you can leave, bitch. Bless your heart, fine in. I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel. He nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Oh, I got a man, circle tight, yeah, back and seal. I heard they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rate for real. Take over in effect, yeah, I'm fully focused. You might not see it on me, just know it's women, that bitch fully loaded. Ooh, yeah, we up and rolling. Told them I need major motion. Think I'm joking, I'ma school them niggas like they baby Jody. Got it out the dust, now I'm too clean, don't know why they hate me. What you want out life, dog? Guns and butter, baby boy. U.P.K top, dog. Certified road runner. I'ma turn that econ line into a damn tank. I got choppers stashed in the attic like they Air Frank. They had that shit on lock till I snapped on them like bolt cutters. You cannot play both sides, gotta choose your colors. See him throwing that one up with that W, that's my blood, bro. Fine in. I ain't show no mercy, I'm gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the dust, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel. He nice, but he don't show the skills, how I show the skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a man, circle tight, yeah, back and seal. Said they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rate for real.
Time of the pandemic, where COVID-19 has crippled the world economies, where our government has ordered nationwide shutdown, where hospitals are overwhelmed.
Shortly after, the unthinkable happened.
I was literally stunned and frozen.
And their religious leaders are proven to be frauds. Where do you go to get all your questions answered and to hear what God has to say about this matter? You can only find the answers in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General YAHANNA. We give you scriptural breakdowns of world events and the up and coming world war. We will show you in the Bible where the children of Israel, who are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today, would suffer slavery in Jamaica, Caribbean, North, Central, and South America, and other parts of the world. We will show you in the Bible where God said he would send plagues upon the earth before he frees people from this captivity.
The World Health Organization has declared coronavirus a global pandemic.
We will give you the true teaching of the Bible, precept upon precept. To learn more, subscribe today and call the number in the description for I.S.U.P.K Jamaica. Shalom. In this time of the pandemic, where COVID-19 has crippled the world economies, where our government has ordered nationwide shutdown, where hospitals are overwhelmed.
Shortly after, the unthinkable happened.
I was literally stunned and frozen.
And your religious leaders are proven to be frauds. Where do you go to get all your questions answered and to hear what God has to say about this matter? You can only find the answers in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General YAHANNA. We give you scriptural breakdowns of world events and the up and coming world war. We will show you in the Bible where the children of Israel, who are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today, would suffer slavery in Jamaica, Caribbean, North, Central, and South America, and other parts of the world. We will show you in the Bible where God said he would send plagues upon the earth before he frees people from this captivity.
The World Health Organization has declared coronavirus a global pandemic.
We will give you the true teaching of the Bible, precept upon precept. To learn more, subscribe today and call the number in the description for I.S.U.P.K Jamaica. Shalom. In this time of the pandemic, where COVID-19 has crippled the world economies, where our government has ordered nationwide shutdown, where hospitals are overwhelmed.
Shortly after, the unthinkable happened.
I was literally stunned and frozen.
And your religious leaders are proven to be frauds. Where do you go to get all your questions answered and to hear what God has to say about this matter? You can only find the answers in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General YAHANNA. We give you scriptural breakdowns of world events and the up and coming world war. We will show you in the Bible where the children of Israel, who are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans today, would suffer slavery in Jamaica, Caribbean, North, Central, and South America, and other parts of the world. We will show you in the Bible where God said he would send plagues upon the earth before he frees people from this captivity.
The World Health Organization has declared coronavirus a global pandemic.
We will give you the true teaching of the Bible, precept upon precept. To learn more, subscribe today and call the number in the description for I.S.U.P.K Jamaica. Shalom. In this time of the pandemic, where COVID-19 has crippled the world economies, where our government has ordered nationwide shutdown, where hospitals are overwhelmed.
Shortly after, the unthinkable happened.
I was literally stunned and frozen.
And your religious leaders are
See how these people keep on tagging our video. They tag the video already, you know, and we don't even start showing anything in video. Facebook. Yeah, Facebook. This Rahi Hayat thing keep restricting our videos since Acuna. In favor, I don't know what. Anyway, we're going with what we have to do. Since our trip to Acuna, we see many, should I say many though? One main parallel to what UPK is about, to what Christ really taught when he was walking the earth. And one thing you find that Christ was stressing for the majority of time that he was on the earth. Yes, the main thing was the law. Everything that Christ taught, what he was doing was just explaining the law. When they came up on him with the way that the scribes and the Pharisees was the main one, when they came on Christ with their interpretation of the scripture, that give Christ the opportunity to explain to them what the law is really about. When they came upon him and they talk about the Sabbath, Christ said, was it man made for the Sabbath or the Sabbath made for man? They came upon him and talk about put judgment on the adulteress, and he explained to them that you're not in a position to really judge, because you know better. Because the kingdom that Christ came to establish was a kingdom established on righteousness. Meaning, you who put giving out the judgment, your hand should be clean too. What's the other thing now? He taught brotherhood as well. Christ also taught brotherhood. Brotherhood was the hallmark of what Christ taught, because brotherhood is what the kingdom of heaven is all about. Now, if you notice, during Christ's time in the Bible, there was no time when Christ talked about, for instance, diplomacy between government. Meaning, he didn't teach his disciple that you have to be. All right, if you're going to work with today's government, let's say all right, take Jamaica for instance. You want to be the prime minister of Jamaica, the ruler, or one of the major ministers. What's the requirement? What personal attributes you need to have? None.
No personal attributes.
There is no specific personal attribute that is required of you. Meaning, there's nothing to say that you must be an eloquent speaker, or you must love the people of Jamaica. There is no stipulation like that. You play towards what the voters want. So to be one of the leaders, all you need to do is to do what your set of people who's going to vote for you want you to do. But not so with the kingdom of heaven. With the kingdom of heaven, what you do is set by Christ. The way you carry yourself, the way you execute the office of a ruler over the Most High's people, who are the Israelites, that is set, that was set by Christ. And one of the main issues, one of the main requirements that Christ demands was brotherhood. Why was that so? Because brotherhood is what? All right. Most of the problems that we go through now in this kingdom, what causes it? Right, yeah, like now. What do you think causes it? The problems that we are going through in this kingdom.
Because we don't obey the laws and commandments.
All right, because we don't obey the law and commandment. All right. What if we weren't really obeying it, but we love each other? We show love to each other. Wouldn't we be in a little better situation?
Better position.
We're in a better position.
Come.
So the main problem is, yes, we're breaking the laws of the Most High, but on top of that, we have a hatred for each other. There is a scene. You think come back?
God.
And I wonder why I shuffle so on my mic.
That's my phone me I use. Lock yourself.
Okay.
Can you use the phone now?
You can do. So you think come back?
Yeah, the light come back, so I have the phone up on the charger and the computer they are restart. And it take like 45 minutes to start.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Straight up your camera.
All right, here me I go do. Me I go turn off the camera, sir, because I don't have nothing for kind of hold the phone the right way, so right now. So I just have to turn off the camera.
All right, no problem.
Gone, sir.
Right. So we were saying now the main problem is the way we deal with each other. The way the open hatred that we show for each other. Join in with the oppressor. All right, take for instance in Jamaica. Prior to COVID, when you look at what used to keep the poorer people, what used to sustain the poorer people? Job, if they get one, right?
Come.
Now, there since slavery, you don't have 100% employment has never been amongst us other people since slavery. When slavery was around, they employ everybody. But after now, they realize that they're going to have to pay. They get selfish.
Okay, so in slavery, because they didn't have to pay, that's why a lot of people could be working.
Everybody in the work.
Everybody can.
Because you had to work, forced labor. But when they remove forced labor and they have to now pay. Rather than employing you, they went to China and to India for indentured laborers.
Okay.
And when they realize that these people can't manage the work, they compensate them with money.
Okay.
But they still did not seek to employ us and to give us any form of compensation for the forced labor that they had us in. All right. What happened after that now? People have to start hustle to survive. In Jamaica now, people have to start hustle to survive. One of the ways that people used to hustle now is prior to COVID lockdown, the schools. So you have schools in every community in Jamaica, right? Basic school, primary school, high school. One of the things that you also see at all the schools is vendors. So our people used to go and hustle
at the schools.
At the school gate. Just the little lunch money and break money that the children would get, they go and sell them something for that money. Those persons who sell at the school gate now, many of them have themselves to feed for sure. That's one. They have other children. They have their children to send to school. Government shut down that before COVID. Most of the schools run the vendor them totally. Those than which they did not run them with totally, then charge them. And these schools now start set up tuck shop inside. These and you know the worst thing, these tuck shop brings you to carry the money, you know. So they were making money inside here. Brings come for the money. That's one. People used to also make money from dancehall. You remember the days when every community have dancehall? And you know, a dancehall is more than one dancehall.
Right.
Right. Every community had dance halls. Yeah, the music. People, the singers, the DJs, then go and then hustle them way in the music. Stage shows. The stage show didn't have to be big, extravagant. Sometimes some community level stage show. And people support it. So the promoter make money, don't?
Gotcha.
When you have the dances or the stage show, whether that dance or stage show, our music within the community, the promoter make a money. Vendors come again, come vend at the thing there and make a money. So our people was able to hustle and survive. System shut down that again. We are the dancers. That gone.
The picture.
Yes. Dances still keep, but the level of investment that is required, the little poor man can invest them the money then. Who is making money off them stage show and that? Them big investors in the countries. In the country. They are the ones. You see, there was in the news the other day, this event that kept in I think it was Montego Bay, where them say the Ministry of Health branded it as a super spreader.
Dream weekend. Luck, yes, sir.
Dream weekend. And then what happened after that now? I think it was Chris Deering who said, why him withdraw from the thing there? Him not invest in it again. And I said, oh, these were the men who in the system making money out of our music. If you notice the kind of dances that keep now, these dances are now being kept on in areas that used to be plantation. The same people them who used to call the police pan we and say we are disturb the community. Is them making the money of the music now. They are the ones in the hotel industry promoting the thing for the tourists, them making the money out of it.
God.
That shut down him. Sorry, not him. The next thing. So the school them shut down our people from making money at the school. Shut down our people from making money from the dance halls. The next thing now, since COVID, the liquor shop them and them basically get shut down. Because our people used to go and juggle on the street when the other stores them close. 6 o'clock, 5, they come out like about 5 o'clock, go up to about maybe 9 in the evenings. You know, when store closes, you see, it's like the store open on the outside now, on the street side. That shut down.
Yeah, that's the part.
Right. But the thing was shut down that I don't even know if I should blame COVID because the businesses are them regular 9 to 5 or 8 to 4 or 8 to whatever time. They can open up to 7 o'clock now.
7 o'clock.
Right, 8 o'clock curfew. These towns used to run up to 10, 11 o'clock. When they look a poor man now, it's God's people now who have to be hustling in the street. We become the flat-foot hustlers. We're not making any money again. All the money that you used to spend amongst our people, here then talk about economic growth for the first quarter of this year, 12.5%.
Good.
You know where the money they come from?
From the flat-foot hustlers.
We used to have to go when I spend the money in we go a dance, we do this, we do that. Amongst ourselves, that money now squeeze out. You have to run when them say lockdown, you have to run to a supermarket and go spend it. Because you have a lockdown for the next 3 days and you need food. You see how the system take time and squeeze the most of people. That's why the most I send COVID. That's why I'm convinced the most I send COVID. Right. Lockdown schools, since as my people and can't make a little hustling and fight. We already teach them, I brainwash them. So shut it down. Nobody know make nothing. Right. Since as my people come up with the music, can't make no money off of the music. Now make no money off of the dance, off of the entertainment aspect of the music. Shut down the whole thing. Right? All the little hustling where our people used to make. They make law and in the towns where you can flat-foot hustle in certain areas. But because of the curses, why we end up doing these things. And then here, most of our people now, and the worst thing in Jamaica is our people are the one who they put to enforce these rules. So our people are really the taskmasters. Right. Now, the most I had to shut down this thing are the other nations grow and its people perish. I'm telling you now, the world was made for your sake. What that is what again? Which book is that? Second Esdras.
6 and 54, sir. Exactly.
All right, let's find that one.
Another one gone.
Apocrypha.
Another one gone. Still up here. Verse 55. All right, you want me to read the whole the three scripture will explain it also. 54 to 56.
Hold on, second Esdras was 6, you say?
Canada one can, sir.
All right, 54
to 56.
And after these Adam also made it known. All right, read it now, 54 to 56.
Another one can. This is the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen, Slakia. Verse 55. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. Verse 56.
Okay. Right.
Another one gone. Verse 56. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and as liken the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
Now, the Most High said the other nations to him are like spit. But you are in a situation now where the spit is better than you. So our people are living a life below the spits. So if the Most High regard us as greater than the little drop will come out of the bucket, which him says the other nation, why are we thus? Why are we at the bottom now? One, and the main one is that punishment. We're going through our punishment. It's coming to an end. So the Most High now testing us if we are ready to start again rule over our own people. Because unlike the days in Maccabees, when this was where it started, but let's go back to first Maccabees.
Another one can.
Was it first Maccabees or second Maccabees with the evil men of Israel? First Maccabees?
Slakia, let me check. Yeah, hear me same way, sir?
Can.
All right.
Yeah, man. First Maccabees 1 and 11.
Another one can. Another one can. This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
All right. So, since the Maccabees, we get love being around the Edens. Because when we are governed by the Eden laws, we get to do the things that the Edens we get to go to our personal desires.
Right.
What are the personal desires we love now? Smoke. When we had our kingdom and thing, smoking now allowed. They get to get the man who love wars now, him can go buy wars at will. No charge. Couldn't do that in the kingdom. The man who is a rapist, in rape and then go before court, and the most him get now is 2 years. That was a death sentence in our kingdom. The child molester, homosexuality, all the things, the things that our evil hearts desire was to be found among the heathens. It made some people rich, some of our very own people. Because even now in this kingdom, a lot of the people who is made rich in this kingdom, talking about our people, they break the law. Talking about the Most High's law. You know, if you open a pork house now, you can make good money. If you open a brothel,
Right.
the whores are there and men come in and buy more.
Strip club.
Yes.
Lucky.
Come again?
Or a strip club, you know? Lucky.
Right. Or a strip club. Well, the good name of a brothel is a massage parlor.
Okay.
So you open one of those, sell box. You make good money. Make a whole heap of money. You have a weed house now, you make money.
Good.
Cigarettes, if you can manufacture cigarette or trade in cigarette, you can make money. All the things that are against the Most High's laws, you make money in it, half it in Esau's world. Homosexuality, you name them. Now, in order for us to rule over ourselves, we have to show the Most High that, yeah, we're ready.
Right.
And in it, from the time of Maccabees, we have been showing him that we are not ready. The Bible called those people now who went to the Eden to study their ways and to get us back with the Eden, call them wicked men of Israel.
Right.
How does the trip to Acuna prove that we are ready? We're going to measure that now with David's life. Some of the things that David did. 1 Samuel 24:1.
Got another one gun. Got another one gun. This is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 24 and verse 1. And it came to pass when Saul was returned from following the Philistines, that it was told him, saying, Behold, David is in the wilderness of En-Gedi.
Continue.
Another one can, verse 2. Then Saul took 3,000 chosen men of all Israel and went to seek David and his men upon the rocks of the wild goats. Verse 3. And he came to the sheep cotes by the way, where was a cave, and Saul went in to cover his feet, and David and his men remained in the sides of the cave. Verse 4. And the men of David said unto him, Behold, the day of which the Lord said unto thee, Behold, I will deliver thine enemy into thine hand, that thou mayest do to him as it shall seem good unto thee. Then David arose and cut off the skirt of Saul's robe privily.
Right. So Saul came down. Remember, both of them are anointed by the Lord. They are both the Lord's anointed. But Saul, let me can't find it again. The Most High had stopped walking with Saul.
Okay.
All right, if you read, go to 1 Samuel 16 and 1.
Canada one gun. Canada one gun. This is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 16 and verse 1. And the Lord said unto Samuel, How long will thou mourn for Saul, seeing I have rejected him from reigning over Israel? Fill thine horn with oil, and go. I will send thee to Jesse, the Bethlehemite, for I have provided me a king among his sons.
So Samuel knew that the Lord anointed was Saul. So when Samuel learned that the Most High not with Saul again, him plead with God, him do everything, him bawl, him mourn, him. The Most High said, so wait, how long you going to stay and mourn for Saul? Seeing I have rejected him from reign over Israel. Get up, man, full your eye with oil and go down to Jesse. I have provided me a king among Jesse's son. Now, when David was at this stage before he started to fight wars and things, just being out there in the field with the sheep, the Most High was testing him and watching him. They had hundreds of sheep. A bear come and take their sheep. What did David do? I mean, you're there with hundreds of animals and one big bad wild animal come and take one. You can't just sit down and look and say, well, I want making one. No, David went and killed that bear and took the sheep. And he did the same thing with the lion. Now, the Most High, the Lord did not test David with any diplomacy and with how politically correct he was when he speak. The Most High test him on his love for the things that he was caring for.
Right.
And the Most High likened his people unto a flock of sheep.
Right.
And whoever he make as leader over his people is called the shepherd. So David now proved himself to be a good shepherd before him even go and fight Goliath. Now, back to 24.
Canada one gun.
Coming back now, at this stage now in 24, David made many wars and have gained his fame. People sing songs to him because of his victory in battle. Saul didn't like it, but that's the way it was. So David now on his way to be king over Israel because the Most High chose him now to be king. All the tests that the Most High give David was nothing about how a country, how you would be a leader today.
Right.
What is required to be a leader in today's world. All you have to do is popular today.
Right.
You can pretend to love the people and don't truly love the people. You can still be their leader.
Okay.
But to be a leader in Israel, to be a ruler over Israel, the Israelites, the main thing that is required is the love for your people.
Okay.
And this is what Commanding General YAHANNA under the I.S.U.P.K, under the banner of the I.S.U.P.K has been teaching and instilling. When you watch Black Watch, you see him get off and But him generally get off on the way our people are being treated.
Right. Gone.
Right?
Gone.
Not that to say our people are doing wrong, and this is how you know that the purple fags.
Faga. Slack yourself. Purple faga. Slack.
Purple, and this is and the other groups who talk about what purple flag them say. If they will, if we know that you are wanted and you're anywhere here among us, we're going to snitch.
Right.
Turn you in and collect that money.
God.
That's not what the most I want from people who he is going to put to rule over his people.
Right.
He don't want no snitch. You go snitch out to on the people and Esau.
Right.
Right. What we do in the UPK, we chastise the system for putting our people in this position that they know of and break the law just to survive. Just to survive. You have man who have to go out there and them sell weed just to survive. You have sisters who go and then go back road, deep strip, wherever, and sell catches just to survive.
Right.
We have sisters who go and dance in the go-go club just to survive. Because when you come from the ghetto, two things open up to you, as you're born, Gunman if you're a man, and prostitution if you're a woman.
God.
Those two things the system freely gives. They have the law against the gun, yet still it's not hard to get a gun. All right?
God.
And we know it's not hard to get a gun. The amount of illegal gun they have in the country show you that it's not hard to get a gun.
Right.
Had it been hard, when gun was hard to get, late 70s, coming up to 80s. If a politician give you a gun, you don't get an illegal gun. Now, men go and get the guns without politician giving them that gun. So it's not hard to get. These things are open to our people. Why? So that they can destroy themselves and prove to the system that they are not worthy to be considered human by those in authority. When they catch the man who then says a cop killer, suspected cop killer, they find him, they don't carry him in.
They must murder him. So
they murder him.
Okay.
And yet still the very news, say suspected. So in other words, now you're proven guilty by the system before you are even tried.
God.
Where is the justice for our people? All right, let's continue.
Another one can. Verse 5. And it came to pass afterward that David's heart smote him because he had cut off Saul's skirt.
Continue.
Another one can. Verse 6. And he said unto his men, the Lord forbid that I should do this thing unto my master, the Lord's anointed, to stretch forth mine hand against him, seeing he is the anointed of the Lord.
See, so David knew that being anointed by the Most High counts for something.
God.
How easy is it? Look about, you have approximately, since COVID last year to this year, you have approximately 8 coup attempts in this world. 2 successful. And there are many more to come. They start at the bottom, yes. The Africans did do a couple. They put down some. One in 80 successful. And more to come.
Okay.
We don't know if we might now have one in Jamaica. Because it looks, well, the Prime Minister is sure of himself still.
God.
Buy up some military weaponry and equipment.
God.
It's one of two things in preparing for now. Either him know that him going to have to free up the LGBT group and the people going to protest. So buy the military weaponry from now, vehicle and armory from arms from now to put down any uprising that you might have. That's one.
God.
Or two, because they know that they have to open back the country with COVID still on, then COVID might get out of hand and put many of our frontline service people at risk, where
God.
put them in harm's way with the virus, where now you probably can have a whole police station out of commission. So you know have to bring in the army. It's one of those things him shoring up the army for. A lot of weapon and things. Well, it more look like the protest because see them crack down for I never see people get how you normally get locked up in Jamaica for protesting is when they go and block the road. Because the law states they should not impede the free movement of other people. So in other words, even we when we go and speak on the street, if we know that we are going to speak on the street and it's going to cause crowd, if we anticipate crowd, we can ask the cops and no money required. You just inform them. We are going to speak. We're expecting crowd. We're asking you to come out and direct some crowd. That was what they said when we were informing them that we were going on the street. Now, luckily for us in Jamaica, because we kind of understand the law, so we know that it's not really permission we need to go and speak on the street. Just as the orders come from above, meaning from our generals down the line, said that we should inform the cops that we're going out there. First, they say seek permission. We said no, we don't, in Jamaica you don't really need permission. So they say, all right, go and talk to them. We go and talk to them. They were at sea as to what is it you need from us? We said, well, we just inform you that you're going out there. We said, are you going to block the traffic? We said no. Are you will you be impeding pedestrians? We said no. Then what you need me for? We said nothing, just to tell you because we know that when we go out there and talk, it's going to be controversial and people are going to call you and tell you one bag of lie. Oh. So she laughed and said, all right, write a letter to the person in charge of the region. I think it was a superintendent or something like that. So we wrote the letter to that person. But other than that, our people are being squeezed by the system, right? In David's time, David knew that David probably even while Saul was alive, David was more of a eloquent person, more of what we would call today diplomat than Saul. But that's not what Saul was. The most I stopped following Saul for, because Saul was disobedient. When God got the opportunity to wipe out Amalek, he didn't wipe out Amalek. He take Amalek's sons and Amalek daughters unto himself, take them as servants to him, and take the choice animals and things. And then after a while now, the king, the king as prisoner, the prisoner and the king did escape. That now show you that the most I know I've got to wait again. And that opportunity which him get on a Saul time, you don't get it again. But even though the Most had stopped following Saul, David knew that he was the Lord's anointed. And David still showed brotherhood to Saul. Continue.
Gun. Another one, gun. Another one, gun. Verse 7. So David stayed his servants with these words and suffered them not to rise against Saul. But Saul rose up out of the cave and went on his way. Verse 8. David also arose afterward and went out of the cave and cried after Saul, saying, My Lord, the king. And when Saul looked behind him, David stooped with his face to the earth and bowed himself. Verse 9. And David said to Saul, Wherefore hearest thou men's words, saying, Behold, David seek thy earth. Verse 10. Behold, this day thine eyes have seen how that the Lord had delivered thee today into mine hand in the cave. And some bade me kill thee, but mine eyes spared thee. And I said, I will not put forth mine hand against my Lord, for he is the Lord's anointed.
For he is the Lord's anointed. Now this is all that the Most High require now. Testing David. Yeah, and growing you as a killer, but are you going to kill your own people?
Okay.
Are you going to have no, in other words, have no boundaries as to who you kill and who you don't kill? Now, David is showing that, he is not just an arbitrary killer.
Right.
He will not kill the Lord's anointed. So I'm sure respect to whom? Showing respect to God.
God.
How we today show respect to God by going down to the border and feeding our people in order. Line up in the night, get some food, clothes, water. Right? Shame the oppressor, so that the oppressor come now and take them, put them in facilities.
Right.
Al Sharpton go down there and attack. Go down there with nothing, We see a video with him, go down there and attack about the crisis. Yeah. All of them never see it before we go down there. And it's the same thing with the Northern Kingdom, it's just that we move a little too late. But, me there in America still, is like I've been getting in trouble with, we're not getting out of trouble. But I just jump on it sooner, because from it start happening, we say, Cap, we can't go down the border, we meet the people. And the most I send them up, I say, no, we can't go meet them. Give them the word. But I wasn't even thinking about food then, I was saying, go down there and give them the word. This is the opportunity for I.S.U.P.K now to go and minister to these people. Yeah. Well, after you go down there now and you see the situation, you're going to realize that you have to carry some food too. And maybe water, if not food, water, because down there, so every time we see a video with persons who try to get across the border and things, the main problem they have this is really to get a drink of water. Because it's hot. Right? And come on in Israelite and send the right thing, a freezer truck with some cool water. Right. So yes, David was tested. We are tested in U.P.K too. the test won't be to see if you are a bright person with a degree in law, with a degree in politics, with a degree in what else, or degree, or being a doctor. These are the things required to be the educational requirements to be a politician. You either study law, you were a doctor, or you have some degree in political science. Most I don't require none of that. You need an earnest love for people. Which school David went to? The only thing David used to do before him get called to be anointed was run back a sheep.
Right.
Run behind sheep, being a shepherd, or in front sheep, being a shepherd.
Okay.
So much so that when Saul went to anoint him, Jesse bring forth his sons and didn't bring him forth because Jesse said, no, I can't be David.
Right.
I can't be David. So when they passed by Samuel, and Samuel said, no man, it's not any of these. So much so that them start to say, Jesse start, well, it's only one we have left, but in the out in the bush with the sheep. And Samuel said, go and fetch him because we won't be eating until he comes. And they went for him and so on and so forth. Now, the most I didn't take David to any university. All he taught David was love your people.
Good.
And what Commanding General YAHANNA is teaching us in the U.P.K today, this is why he sent the mission down there, even in harm's way. Because showing love to your people requires you to go in harm's way most time. Just like David. When David was in the field with the sheep, and the Most High tested him with the bear and with the lion, that was in harm's way. Then the bear and the lion couldn't kill him. The bear and the lion could kill him, but the Most High was with him. When he went to face Goliath, the spirit which he faced Goliath with was, who is this uncircumcised Eden? Come talk to my people this way. That was the right spirit. Right? The spirit we went in Acuna is in why our Asian brothers and sisters live all the way from Haiti, come through Colombia, come up this border here. They are right here, stuck under a bridge. They are hungry. They are thirsty. They are in a dangerous area. But it is our duty to go and feed them. We're not rich, but we have to find something and share with them. Right? And 6,000 years I do find, you know much good, you know much other thing that could I do within the school.
Good.
But we didn't look at it that way.
Good.
This is another thing where me personally now as a young officer in the troop is impressed by.
Right.
You know, the long trailer, rent it, brothers them go down there. And I'm sure by the time they were ready to leave, at least ready to leave, they themselves were hungry. Because they went down there, spent so many hours, right? Officer Yatazar over the phone, you know, he never, you know, he must want to sleep. But he stayed up because this was a moment for him to prove himself to the Most High that he is ready to lead his people, the Asians, the Levites. And none of the brothers failed. They all succeeded. Just like how David Just like David right here. David being tested by the Most High. Are you willing to put your hand on the Lord's anointed? All right, continue.
Another one can. Verse 11. Moreover, my father, see the skirt of thy robe in mine hand, for in that I cut off the skirt of thy robe, and kill thee not. Know thou and see that there is neither evil nor transgression in mine hand, and I have not sinned against thee, yet thou huntedst my soul to take it.
Right, continue.
Another one can, verse 12. The Lord judge between me and thee, and the Lord avenge me of thee, but mine hand shall not be upon thee.
Right, so I'm telling Saul, the Most High deliver you into my hand, but my hand will not be up on you. All right, continue.
Another one can, verse 30. As saith the proverb of the ancients, wickedness proceeded from the wicked, but mine hand shall not be upon thee. Verse 40. After whom is the king of Israel come out? After whom dost thou pursue? After a dead dog? After a flea? Verse
Right.
15.
So David is who you coming after? I'm liking himself to a dead dog and a flea. Me, you don't need to come after me. I'm not going to put my hands forth to harm you. You go and do what you... Basically, Saul was afraid that, you know, him sitting down here on the throne with David alive and ready to be king is a threat to him.
God.
Because the Most High had stopped following him now, then that leave a whole cavity for demons to fill.
God.
So even that have to be a lesson to us in the truth, you know. That we pray that the Most High don't stop follow us.
God.
Don't stop being with us. When we become the Lord's anointed and the Most High stop following you, you know, it's like you have been cast to the dogs. You have been cast to demons. Now, what can you do? Continue.
Another one can. Verse 15. The Lord therefore be judge, and judge between me and thee, and see and plead my cause, and deliver me out of thine hand. Verse 16. And it came to pass when David had made an end of speaking these words unto Saul, that Saul said, Is this thy voice, my son David? And Saul lifted up his voice and wept. Verse 17. And he said to David, Thou art more righteous than I, for thou hast rewarded me good, whereas I have rewarded thee evil. Verse 18. And thou hast shewed this day how that thou hast dealt well with me, for as much as when the Lord had delivered me into thine hand, thou killedst me not. Verse 19. For if a man find his enemy, will he let him go well away? Wherefore, the Lord reward thee good for that thou hast done unto me this day.
All right. Continue.
Another one can, verse 20. And now, behold, I know well that thou shalt surely be king, and that the kingdom of Israel shall be established in thine hand.
All right.
Verse 21. Swear now therefore unto me by the Lord, that thou wilt not cut off my seed after me, and that thou wilt not destroy my name out of my father's house.
Right.
Verse
So
22.
that is Saul's problem right there. Okay, 22, and last. Read that one.
Another one cancer. Verse 22. And David swore unto Saul, and Saul went home, but David and his men gat them up unto the hole.
All right. So what happened here now is, this is Saul's problem. Swear now therefore unto me by the Lord that thou will not cut off my seed after me, and that thou will not destroy my name out of my father's house. So that is what he was worried about. No, he is probably the first ruler over Israel who takes such worry unto himself. I can't remember another. Can't even remember a second. Who was chosen by the Most High to be a ruler over his people, and I worry about if his seed will be cut off after him and so on. Because who is supposed to be king after him? Jonathan. His son got named Jonathan. But when I read further on, you'll see what happened to Jonathan, because it's not his doing. But what was happening, because the Most High, he disrespected the Most High in that way. The Most High taught him, just use David to, just by David anointed and being alive was a bother to him.
Yeah.
And he can't keep him healed because competition outside. Same thing with the political parties. The one who is in power, when him see opposition start get strong, what happen? He start fretting. Him and him ministers them, and followers them start fret and say, Jesus, we're going to lose power. That was Saul's fret. That was Saul's problem. All right. Take me to 1 John 4, 20 to 21.
Another one can.
Saul, David was showing brotherhood toward Saul, but Saul was not showing any such thing. Let me say 1 John.
That's it. Another one can.
1 John, chapter 4 and 20.
Another one can. This is the book of 1 John, chapter 4, verse 20. If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother, whom he has seen, how can he love God, whom he has not seen?
Right. The Bible said, I love God, but that man does not love his brother. This is the New Testament, We professing that we love God by doing what? We got church, you your nice job, you have a nice vehicle, you say, yes, God bless me. I go back to church, or I got to make sure I throw my tithes and my offering.
Good.
But on your way to church, the brother who is walking to church, you never see it fit to take him up and offer him a ride.
Good.
Yet you're going to your church saying that you love God.
Right.
The Most High said, you're a liar. You don't love God.
Good.
How can you say you love God and don't love your brother? You have never seen God. Continue.
Another one can, sir. Verse 21. And this commandment have we from him, that he who loveth God love his brother also.
Right. Matthew 25:40.
Another one can. Another one can. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 40. And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me.
All right. So that's how you know that that work in Acuna, that was the Most High testing. Because the least you do to your to the brethren, what was done in Acuna was done unto God. Right? But here Christ was talking about those under his wings, his fold. But isn't the Asian under his fold too? It's just that they don't come in. Right? When you in the truth now, just think back and remember all the near misses you have out there when you were in the world.
Near
miss to death.
Okay.
Just remember all the near miss you have, meaning times in which you could have died. And you look back and you say, Jesus, lucky me lucky, you know. Not lucky. It was God, it was the Most High with you, preserving you for this day that you would be coming in the truth. Right. Those people under the bridge is no different. They are the Most High's chosen is also in that flock. That's why the angels came and protect the brothers going down there.
Right.
There might be somebody in there who was important to the Most High. The Most High said, I need this one. Just like how him touch you in the truth, bring you in the truth. The one bring them too. Okay. So that's the way it is. All right, take me now to John 13, 35.
Got one gun. Got another one gun. This is the book of John, chapter 13, verse 34. A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another as I have loved you, that ye also love one another.
All right. So this is a test for us to rise the nation of the Israelites again, of our nation again. This is the test that we love one another as much as he love we. This is the school. It doesn't require any degree. It requires that we love one another. And there's no way we can be lawbreakers and love one another. So it goes on and on. Remember, it's two. Christ break the commandment down in two major segments, you know. Love God, love your brother.
God.
Right? And guess what? If you show brotherhood, you're showing love to God.
God.
That is why him say, the least you do to one of these, you do unto me. But there is no rule him have where say, if you love him, you also love your brother.
Right.
But if you love your brother, you love God.
You have to love your brother first before you can love God.
Thank you.
Okay.
So we can go on the street and preach all we want, and we feel like mission to Acuna. You know what I mean? You know what? Well, the most I would just say that we're not ready yet and give us more time and come again. In other words, wheel and come again. But showing him that you're ready is not just those who went on the mission ready. It's the I.S.U.P.K. In David time, the men who were under David were also spared by the Most High because David was ready. If David wasn't ready, David going many back to them would have dead out, man. But because the Most High was with David, they were also protected. It's not them the Most High was with. It was David. So what the Most High, who the Most High was with down there, those brothers, because of the I.S.U.P.K, because of who sent them, Commanding General YAHANNA. Yeah? So it's Commanding General YAHANNA under Christ who sent them. And that's why, you see, if them get up and go on them one, it would be a different thing. You know? Even though we know that those brothers would not do that, because that would mean that you don't respect the ranks of the U.P.K. You know, me, your brothers most times say ranks doesn't matter, but I tell you, ranks matter.
Right.
It matters because if it wasn't for ranks, Commanding General YAHANNA could stay wherever he was and give them orders, and it carry out in the way in which it was carried out. So the mission also proved that rank does matter in the U.P.K. Rank is what? Yeah, you can be of a certain rank and a brother of a lesser rank than you. And because he's a little more diligent, might understand some things a little more than you. But when it comes to things like what happened in Acuna, they send those a delegation of 12 vehicles and a lot of brothers. It was only the ranks, the respect for rank, while the order in which you see display on the ground could have been displayed. Them fake Israelite group who don't respect rank couldn't do something like this, couldn't be so orderly.
Right.
The Christian church wouldn't be so orderly either. They have nothing in rank structure. Right? David was respected amongst his brethren who was with him, and he had rank structure in there too, because there were men among him who was more valiant than the others, who he would call like their captain over the others. He himself was respected. When he sent, I don't remember if that one was named, when he sent to Nabal, say, you know, we have been watching the things out here for long and not missing or something. You know, send something to, you know. It was because of rank why those brothers who went with the message go deliver the message, listen, and take back to David what was said. Did not put their personal feeling in the trip. They didn't, what Nabal said, Nabal was feisty, but they did not take it personal and say, oh, yeah, we're good, blah, 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 and take matters on their own. And they went back to David for instruction. Now that is rank. All right. And rank, true brotherhood has to go with rank. Somebody have to have the last say, in other words. In your house, there is rank when you grow that show, you know, you have your mother and your father. When you want to do something and they say no, what it means? No. So if you look here, all right, it's not against the Most High's law to drink ice water, right? But if you say to your mother, say to your father, I want 1 cup of ice water, and him say, no, drink room temperature water. because of XYZ. And you go and say, at times I drink ice water, if I drink ice water, I'm not break the Most High law. And you go and you drink that ice water. You break your father's commandment. The father told you no.
Okay.
That's rank. Right. So rank is important. Continue.
Another one, gun, verse 35. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if ye have love one to another.
So in giving the command and you following his command, that's how man will know. So yeah. That's how what happened in Acuna, that's how we know that yeah, these men follow command in General YAHANNA.
Gun.
He sent them down there with on the mission, equip them, tell them what to do, so on and so forth. Right? And the man on the ground who was in charge was Captain Yatazap.
Okay.
And all the brothers followed and listened to him. When he said stop, they stop. When he said go, they go. And that was what the soldiers on the ground were looking at. They said, hold on. Well, the man move some militant and then no gun for them with them. Because in the world, it's a weapon that shows the strength. But in our kingdom, the strength is not. He's the one who fight our battle. That is not to say that we don't use weapons. We use weapons. David had his weapons. We fought wars. We use weapons. But the weapon not determine your victory. It's God determine the victory. Okay. And that was one thing that was shown on the ground in Acuna. John 13. This is John 13. Is Matthew 5 and 22.
Another one, gun. Another one, gun. This is the book of Matthew chapter 5, verse 22. But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. And whosoever shall say to his brother, Raka, shall be in danger of the council. But whosoever shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire.
Right. No, we're not saying Raka to none of the brothers who went on there. We're not calling them no fool or that them stupid to go and put themselves in harm's way to show anything, because we know it was the Most High that was with them.
Okay.
Right? It was the Most High that was with them. That's why they did not feel any fear. They were comforted by that Holy Spirit. That is what is meant by thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies.
Right.
Because if they can't tell they didn't know, so they don't, they probably rather just come and hijack a truck.
Right.
One truckload of free food to go and give to dear people. Right? But it was the Most High that was there. So whoever is angry with their brother without a cause, this is where you have up a man for no reason at all. Just like Saul.
Okay.
Can we say Saul had a cause to be angry with David? No, David proved that to him. When David spared him life 2 times, David said, the Most High deliver me in my hand, deliver you in my hand, and I did not do any hurt to you. You are the Lord's anointed. Why you keep hunting me? Why you seek to do me hurt? Right? So Saul was angry with his brother without a cause. And fake Israelite group angry with the I.S.U.P.K for what? What's the reason for them? What they angry with the commanding General YAHANNA for? Because they make a stand for Christ. You have to do that sometime. You make a stand for Christ.
Right.
You know, put your foot down. Why is that you do the thing the right way, I don't do it at all. Right? They choose to come out. You know, show him they run them out. All right. Tell me back to 1 Samuel 26.
Canada one gun.
We're in the 26. We have do 25 already.
Slovakia, say that again, sir.
We do 25 already in our class, so we're in the 26 now.
Canada one gun. This is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 26 and verse 1. And the Ziphites came unto Saul to Gibeah, saying, does not David hide himself in the hill of Acuna, which is before Jeshimon? Verse 2. Then Saul arose and went down to the wilderness of Ziph, having 3,000 chosen men of Israel with him, to seek David in the wilderness of Ziph. Verse 3. And Saul pitched in the hill of Acuna, which is before Jeshimon, by the way. But David abode in the wilderness, and he saw that Saul came after him in the wilderness. Verse 4. David therefore sent out spies and understood that Saul was come in very deed. Verse 5. And David arose and came to the place where Saul had pitched. And David beheld the place where Saul laid, and Abner the son of Ner, the captain of his host. And Saul lay in the trench, and the people pitched round about him. Verse 6. Then answered David and said to Ahimelech the Hittite, and to Abishai the son of Zeruiah, brother to Joab, saying, who will go down with me to Saul to the camp? And Abishai said, I will go down with thee. Verse 7. So David and Abishai came to the people by night, and behold, Saul lay sleeping within the trench, and his spear stuck in the ground at his bolster. But Abner and the people lay round about him. Verse 8. Then then said Abishai to David, God has delivered thine enemy into thine hand this day. Now therefore let me smite him, I pray thee, with the spear even to the earth at once, and I will not smite him the second time.
So you know what now this woman who David called to come with him, Abishai, obviously was a mighty man in David, amongst David, in David wars. Oh, you know what I'm saying to David, and this is how rank is important, because he would not kill unless David give him the command to kill. Him said, let me smite him just one time. In other words, you don't need to give him several lick for him dead. Just one good lick. And him say, more use the spear. And listen how he put it. Then send Abishai to David, God hath delivered thine enemy into thine hand this day. So this mighty man understand that it was God who delivered Saul, but him not get the next part. Him not get the part say, touch not the Lord anointed. But he has somebody who will report to, who is David. Now, whether it's the Lord anointed or not, if David command him to kill, he's going to kill, because of the respect and the order that David have over these men. Right? So him say, let me smite him, I pray thee, with the spear, even to the earth at once. You know, him not saying, it's not at once like when you're moving, say, come here to me at once. No, it mean one time. So I must strike him so hard that the spear go fly through him and pin him to the ground. In the same way, the same force that Saul shot the spear at David when he was trying to kill David, when David was amongst him. So Abishai wanted to do him the same thing. But David, what did David say? Verse 9.
Another one can, verse 9. And David said to Abishai, destroy him not, for who can stretch forth their hand against the Lord's anointed and be guiltless?
Right. So you can stretch forth your hands on the Lord anointed, but you won't be guilty. You won't be guiltless. You'll be a guilty person. The Most High is going to hold you guilty.
God.
Oh, I know to play so. Continue.
Another one can, verse 10. David said furthermore, as the Lord liveth, the Lord shall smite him, or his day shall come to die, or he shall descend into battle and perish.
Right. David said to the Amari that said, leave him to God, man.
God.
But the leave him to God that he said today is not said it out of strength, you know, he said out of weakness. When David himself said, destroy him not, for who can stretch forth his hand against the Lord's anointed and be guiltless? And David said also, the Lord, as the Lord liveth, the Lord shall smite him, God will kill him, or his day shall come to die, or he shall descend into battle and perish. So David says either the God will kill him, live out him days, when him says day shall come to die, or he shall descend into battle and perish, meaning dead in a war. So David said, me don't need to kill him, man. He's either God will kill him himself, him dead in a battle, or him live out him days and dead. That's what David was showing. But I, David, will not put my hand on him. Right? So, you know, those Asian brothers that we have, you know, they love voodoo and thing, you know, but we're not judge them. We leave the judgment for the Most High, you know.
Okay.
Let God judge them. All we can do is do the Most High work and go towards them, show them the right, you know, like show them order. When they show you them at the border with the border patrol and the horses and with whip, they give you the impression like these are some people without order and thing.
God.
You know, that is couldn't be farther from the truth. That is the impression that the oppressor want to give the world of you.
Right.
You are the worst thing. Just like in Jamaica, you know, you see them hustle mental, you see that the avenues of hustle where they take from the people. It's just a matter of time before you start to see the effect. Crime will go. As a matter of fact, that's one of the reasons why crime gone up, because in Kingston, they have a lot of construction projects. So I know what is happening. They turn towards extortion now. Right? The companies pay now. Company them pay them. Because them budget feed. But then the budget will pay 40 people. The budget to pay one. So if them budget and say, all right, I'm paying on 200,000 at over whatever period of time, you better go and decide who going to collect that 200,000. So you see what happened now. Killing must go.
God.
So you now give the impression like, why them people are barbarous people, you know. But if you lock hungry men in a building and they get so sophisticated now, you don't have to be locked in a building to be hungry. Because Esau don't poison the environment. You don't just throw things at will and it grow again. You have to make a deliberate effort to go and plant and nourish the soil for your crop to come, right? So imagine those in the city, nothing now come.
True.
Because the environment, for you start enter Kingston, you start smell the stench, right? And you start, the fog not thick like in some areas, but in some countries, but the city fog is still there. The environment not that deep, clean. Esau don't, your oppressor don't pollute the environment, pollute the soil. So if he put you in an environment now where you're going to have to fight for your meal. You're going to fight for your meal. Because every man have this built-in self-preservation in them. Self-preservation is built in every man. Meaning that if it comes to the point where you have to go dead, where that you see death, and you see a way you can stop the death, you're going to stop it. So if the death is by hunger, man say, oh, why? I didn't feel hungry, you know. But I'm going to make my youth them dead feel hungry. Right? So what him do now? Him go and him kill him brother so that he can collect. This is how evil our pressure is. All right, continue.
Another one can. Verse 11. The Lord forbid that I should stretch forth mine hand against the Lord's anointed. But I pray thee, take thou now the spear that is at his bolster and the cruse of water, and let us go.
Right. So David now give an order. Just take the spear and the water and let us go. A Christian that jump up and say, no, the blood of Jesus against him. All right, Jesus' name born it at the time. No, the Spirit of God against him. Right? They would have want to oppose David. And David men sometimes, when we read, you know, David men sometimes plot and say, boy, we'll kill him, you know, because certain things will happen. We're going to read that further down. But they did not, because God was with David. Continue.
Another one can. Verse 12. So David took the spear and the cruse of water from Saul's bolster, and they gat them away, and no man saw it, nor knew it, neither awake, for they were all asleep, because a deep sleep from the Lord was falling upon them.
Right. So you see, who was David Backative, the most powerful force in the universe? His Backative was God. So God make everybody fall asleep so that he can walk go in the camp and take up Saul's. He could even kill Saul to come out. But he was aware of such consequence because he feared God. So anything that the Lord is with or put his hand, David steer from it. He did not seek to oppose the Most High in no way, nor form. So much different from Saul. Continue.
Another one can. Verse 13. Then David went over to the other side and stood on the top of an hill afar off, a great space being between them. Verse 14. And David cried to the people and to Abner the son of Ner, saying, Answer thou not, Abner?
Answer
Then
is
Abner, saying, Answer thou not, Abner? Then Abner answered and said, Who art thou that crieth to the king? Verse 15. And David said to Abner, Art not thou a valiant man? And who is like to thee in Israel? Wherefore then hast thou not kept thy lord the king? For there came one of the people in to destroy the king thy lord.
right. So David now chastising Abner and said, well, you're supposed to watch the king head. You know, he deserved that. Because a man could have come in and come kill the king, and you there sleeping. Continue.
Another one gone, verse 16. This thing is not good that thou hast done. As the Lord liveth, ye are worthy to die, because ye have not kept your master, the Lord's anointed. And now see where the king's spear is, and the cruse of water that was at his bolster.
Right. This is not good, Abner. As the Lord liveth, you are ready to die. You have not kept your master, the Lord's anointed. So it's like David, I told him, you know. We could have killed him, your master. 17.
Another one gone, verse 17. And Saul knew David's voice and said, Is that thy voice, my son David? And David said, It is my voice, my lord, O king. Verse 18. And he said, Wherefore does my lord thus pursue after his servant? For what have I done? Or what evil is in mine hand?
Right. Why you keep coming after me to kill me? What me do? What me do to you? Continue.
Another one gone, verse 18. And he said, Wherefore does my lord thus pursue after his servant? For what have I done, or what evil is in mine hand? Verse 19. Now therefore I pray thee, let my lord the king hear the words of his servant. If the Lord have stirred thee up against me, let him accept an offering. But if they be the children of men, cursed be Slakia. But if they be the children of men, cursed be they before the Lord. For they have driven me out this day from abiding in the inheritance of the Lord, saying, Go serve other gods.
Right. So I say, if it's God stirring you up against me, well, let him accept an offering. But if it's the children of men that is stirring you up against me, cursed be they before God. For they have driven me, caused me to be driven out from abiding in the inheritance of the Lord, saying, Go serve other gods. Because what was happening now? David had to leave the borders of his country, going into the land of the Philistine and elsewhere to live, to survive, running from Saul. Because the very same people are carrying news to Saul and stir up Saul against him.
Yeah.
Now, when he's out there, what is out there for him to do? Serve other gods. So I must say, the people must steer you up against me now, causing me to go serve other gods. But David didn't. Right, David was a God-fearing man. And he even had a priest with him. Even a priest was in his gang. Continue.
Another one, verse 20. Now therefore, let not my blood fall to the earth before the face of the Lord. For the king of Israel is come out to seek a flea, as when one does hunt a partridge in the mountain. Verse 21. Then said Saul, I have sinned. Return my son David, for I will no more do thee harm, because my soul was precious in thine eyes this day. Behold, I have played the fool, and have erred exceedingly.
So this is him now coming face to face with his conscience after him again that David almost killed him. Why? Now he was a politician. David almost killed him and said, I have played the fool. Right? I have played the fool and I've erred and I'm wrong. I have been wrong, exceedingly wrong. Right, 22.
Another one can, verse 22. And David answered and said, Behold, the king's spear, and let one of the young men come over and fetch it.
Right. Here is the king's spear. Send one of the young men to come and fetch it. 23.
Another one can, verse 23. The Lord render to every man his righteousness and his faithfulness. For the Lord delivered thee into mine hand today, but I would not stretch forth mine hand against the Lord's anointed.
Right. He would not stretch forth his hand against the Lord anointed, even when he get the chance. God was testing him, man. 24.
Another one can, verse 24. And behold, as thy life was much set by this day in mine eyes, so let my life be much set by in the eyes of the Lord. And let him deliver me out of all tribulation.
25 and last.
Another one can, verse 25. Then Saul said to David, Blessed be thou, my son David. Thou shalt both do great things, and also shalt still prevail. So David went on his way, and Saul returned to his place.
All right, so the man just saved a life. I can't turn around and try to kill him. Blessed be you, my son. Go on him ways, and David went his ways. But David is no fool. David knows that the time will come where your son will try again. And maybe the next time the most I deliver him into SHALAM. David not take no chance. All right, take me to Luke 6 and 31.
Another one can. Another one can. This is the book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 31. And as ye would that men should do to you, do ye also to them likewise.
As you do unto your brother as you would like him to do unto you. Right? This was what David was doing, you know. Yeah. David no one teach the man them around him that they can do as they please with the Lord's anointed. Because he himself is the Lord anointed. So when you go teach them, say, them can't kill the king, nothing wrong. Right. When the time will come where them are going to look at you the same way.
Right.
So David was doing this. David was doing what he would like to be done to him. Right? And our brothers in Acuna is doing the same thing. You know, what if it was Judites under the bridge? Wouldn't you like another tribe of Israel to come on to your rescue? Of course. All right. John 15 and 12 to 14.
Another one can. Another one can. This is the book of John, chapter 15, verse 12. This is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. Verse 30. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Verse 40. Ye are my friends if ye do whatsoever I command you.
Right. So this is the guidelines for rulership back over people, you know. This Christ command us to love one another. David showed that. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. David displayed that because every time when you go in battle, you could die.
Right?
And the love between him and Jonathan also displayed brotherhood.
Right.
So they were showing, he was displaying brotherhood all the way. And Christ says, basically, he could have said, Christ could have basically said, no, if you display brotherhood that David displayed, you will be my friend. So he said, you are my friend if you do whatsoever I command you. So in other words, if we follow him, let him be the leader of us, and we rank under him, we are a good friend.
Cool.
Right. That's John, Matthew 18, 21 to 22.
Another one gun. Another one gun. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 21. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me and I forgive him? Till 7 times? Verse 22. Yahushua said unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 70 times 7.
See, Saul sinned against David several times. It wasn't only those 2 times that he sinned. He came after David. From David was around him, and him sail spear after David. David go home in a bed with the wife, who was Saul's daughter. Him send man for David to carry David come to kill him. He had sinned against David several times, and David forgive him.
God.
Each time David forgive him, David put not forth his hand to him. So this was David's test, if he was really ready for rulership. Probably the same thing now with commanding General YAHANNA. Them fake Israelite group, them face the body now. And them faced it with him so many times. God. As a matter of fact, when they come up against us on the road, on the streets, it doesn't happen in Jamaica yet. But when they come up against the brothers on the street, it's not because of the brothers, you know. It's right. They don't like, you know.
Right.
But General YAHANNA knows that it's really Christ they don't like.
God.
It's just the teaching of Christ, because if I am following what you say and a man don't like me, I don't really mean no like. Right. Because if I was doing something that is favorable to him, he would like me.
Right.
And I mean no like. It's not me personally have a problem with. It's the work of the person I am doing.
God.
So when they see us on the street, they see commanding General YAHANNA, and and just can't take it. For whatever reason. I don't know what was it. What happened with them, but them carried to them. But I can't go into them grave. But there's some many of them was also the Lord anointed, but them decide to make them Most High stop follow them. It's not in a case like in Saul's time where the Most High chose to stop follow Saul. They left the truth. So you decide to stop follow Christ. And Christ decide to stop follow you. You decide to stop follow Christ. Well, me hear a little argument like since Acuna, some of them come back home. Are making steps to come back home.
Right.
Which is righteous, and the sooner the better, because you know, just like the parable of the fig tree as outlined by Commanding General, by General Mahayaman. You know, the parable of the fig tree that's what you are seeing now. The signs are coming up. And just like David was tested several times before him actually get leadership, the same thing with we. We are the Kentucky 8 who got their test. Are you willing to stand and fight for the truth? I'm getting that. The other brothers in Texas now, are you willing to brave danger to go and get your brother? And show that. Well, in a way, we in Jamaica, though, our test is the curfew. When was the last time we go? When was the last time we get to go to camp? More than
maybe a year ago. Lucky. Or more.
No one, since we get to go on the street there, not probably.
Oh, that kind of camp there, lucky. About a month and add probably, or little about a month. Lucky.
Right. You just see what happened? Lockdown prevent you from going. Then 1 week it was rain. 2 weeks it was rain.
Yeah.
And then what after that? Lockdown again.
2 months.
And then lockdown kind of leave where we can go. But Officer Kayadon get sick. Now look at what happened in Central Kingston while the Most High put all these things in place to prevent us from going on the street.
Why?
You look at it, Officer Kayadon.
You know, so it just occurred to me. So that,
it just occurred to you. I saw Central Kingston right in a parade. We are north and west. Over west, they're going to kill the brother, them, the man them. Gun violence take over Central Kingston and a Central Kingston really. Normally it's West Kingston and the problem. Now the violence in Central Kingston.
Right.
Because the work, you have some big construction work coming up going on in Central Kingston.
Okay, so it has spread, I know it gets more outer and.
Exactly. And the Most High remove us from off the street. And we don't even realize.
So lucky, just realize.
We didn't even realize what was happening as to why we can't get to go out.
Right.
Watching the news, you see that, I say, you know, so probably that's the reason why.
We don't get to go back out. Because in the very time when the Most High take care of the street, a piece of violence flare up down there. So the Most High, it is true that the Most High will not give you more than what you can bear. Because obviously, that's not our battle.
Right.
That is not our battle. So that's not our test. So I'm just use things. Remember, for 2 weeks, you remember the week when we reach down there, the rain start. That week they get wet. After we say, all right, we're going to put out the things. Down come the rain. Couldn't come out. The following, I don't know, the rain, it was a week before that. And during the rain We just drive go down there, we never get to come out. And then the following week, when you got soaked, we had to stop again. And then Officer Kayadwan, then lockdown.
Okay.
Then Officer Kayadwan gets sick. It free up back now. But we have Military Council. And the violence take over downtown. Unbelievable.
I think the Friday the violence started, I think the Friday.
The same Friday when Officer Kayada went to the health center.
Yeah.
You remember that Friday?
When you meet me down at the health center?
Yes. And that week then the violence started.
Yeah,
gone.
Yeah. They killed about 3 different shooting.
Gone.
They kill or shoot about 5 different people. They killed 2.
I think a 5 shooting and 3 must be dead, or 4. I think the 4th person, a heart attack, the person get by witnessing the murder, one of the murder then.
Serious?
God.
They killed 2 of them in a one fast food place.
Okay.
Right up parade. The man them sit down in there and chill.
I know mothers.
No man, West Parade side. Mothers they are North Parade.
God.
Never for Burger King or Wendy's or one of them. But one of the fast food places on West Parade, the Friday, we would have gone out this Saturday.
Right.
But because Officer Kayad was sick, we didn't go out.
Okay.
And the violence spring up the whole weekend. Yeah, man, the most I work, man. You see, yeah, and this is all you have to just learn to trust him.
Right.
Because you don't know what is out there. So when him say you can't go, just no problem. Just last week, violence went down the last week. Sat the gun.
Slacky, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
What you call it now? Protesting.
Oh, last week was the protest.
Yes, gone.
And that was a week when you should have gotten the clearance and you didn't get it. And it's near to where the man them assembling them.
Yes, I realize.
Because there's a award theater and with the 2 buildings down.
Right.
So we would have been there again.
Okay.
I've just learned to trust God and live. All right, give me now Matthew 12 and 31. Can close with that one.
Another one, gone.
Sorry, Mark, not Matthew.
Another one, gone. Another one, gone. This is the book of Mark, chapter 12, verse 31. And the second is like, namely this: thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. There is none other commandment greater than these.
David displayed that too. He loved Saul as himself. Saul never loved him though. But he loved Saul as himself. He bowed himself to Saul. He still call him my king. And he still call himself the king's servant.
Right.
But Saul had no regard for that. Saul said, is you the most I want to be king next after me? The next thing you know, you're going to wipe out my name and kill off my family. So he seek to do the same thing. I remember the city that he wiped out, killed down to the suckling, because the priests in the city assisted him. Yeah, the Levite priest assist him, and him go out down there and wipe out the city. Yeah, man. That's evil of Saul. But it was all a test for David to see how much he loves his people, because what is happening now? The most was what happened in David time. I mean, it's hindsight. We can look back at it and see that it was the Most High preparing the nation now to experience the rulership side, where the Most High promised in the covenant, obey his commandment, and he will rule over the world. It was in the time of David and Solomon that we experienced that. That's where we're going back now. So the tests are the same. The tests are the trials that we have to try to prove to the Most High that yes, we're ready for rulership. Similar to David. That's why the Most High set these boundaries. Christ set these laws on the brotherhood. Even though they weren't here before, it wasn't new, It was always there, the law. Christ just explained it simpler, simplify it. You can understand it. David understood it, obviously, because he followed the law. And there were things that he did on the Sabbath, which showed that he knew that he was not a slave to the Sabbath. Questions?
Sir.
All right, so with that, we pass the class to priest and officer. Kayadwan.
All right, clap it up. All right, Slack, yes, sir. We are going to all the prayers then, right?
Yeah, we can do them.
All right, sir. These are the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, and the commanding General YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limit for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person,